US Marshals are supposed to be here to hunt wanted criminals. But what happens when someone pretends to be a marshal to abuse its power?
The fact that you told officers that you're marshal and you're carrying a badge and a gun?
Well, you would have seen it.
Doesn't matter. The fact is that you lied in the beginning.
I know you're not a U.S. Marshal. I'm a U.S. Marshal.
Right.
I know for a fact, 100%, you are not with the U.S. Marshal.
Here are two examples of this happening. Starting with the crazy case of Derry Lambert, who after being pulled over near SE Highway 42, claimed he was a US Marshal to get out of trouble.
And who do you work for? Who are you employed by?
United States Marshals, sir.
U.S. Marshals, okay.
On the 31st of July 2023, a police officer heard an unfamiliar emergency siren coming from a black pickup truck. As he investigated the car further, he could see that it was driving recklessly around cars while being equipped with flashing red and blue emergency lights. Due to the unusual tone of the siren and the fact that there were no calls for service that would require such a response from law enforcement at that time, the officer decided to pull the truck over.
See your other hand for me?
As soon as the officer reaches the passenger window, he is greeted with a US Marshal badge. Suspecting that Derry Lambert was lying about being a marshal, he told him to get out of the vehicle so that he could ask him some questions.
Yeah, just hang tight with me
I
for a
got to
minute.
go back to shift in about 2 hours. So.
Where's shift at?
Huh?
Where's
I got to
shift
get
at?
my car.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, hopefully we can get this resolved really quickly.
According to Lambert, he has a shift in about 2 hours. However, when the officer asks him where the shift is at, he dodges the question. This was an early sign of what was to come later on. In an attempt to get the situation resolved, the officer calls a high-ranking US Marshal.
Thanks. Hey, we got somebody on the phone who wants to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Sir, what is your name?
Derry Lambert.
Okay, what district do you work out of?
I work out of Texas, but they got me down. They got me down in Florida right now, looking into Marion Oaks. There's two gangs out there that are riding on a four-wheeler with a pole on it, busting into people's houses.
Okay.
And they got a call, so I chased.
Work out of?
What's that?
What district in Texas do you work out of?
Dallas.
Okay.
My second house.
Saying that's a federal crime.
Yeah, exactly. I know exactly.
Lambert basically concocted a story in a matter of seconds. However, it seems like that isn't enough to save him. Notice how the marshal specifically asks him if he's aware that impersonating a law enforcement officer is a crime. He has just dug his own grave without even knowing it.
All right,
I
just,
got red bugs out in the weeds in my sleep.
I'm sorry?
I tell him, what's out in the weeds? I got red bugs. You beat me up chasing a guy through the forest the other night.
All right, do me a favor. Just go ahead and turn around for me. Yeah, put your hands behind your back.
For what?
I'll explain it to you.
I've been arrested my life.
Well,
Even after being arrested, Lambert continues to stick with his story, refusing to budge.
and who do you work for? Who are you employed by?
United States Marshals, sir.
U.S. Marshals. Okay. You told me that you don't have your credentials with you, but they're in your
Yeah, my charger.
charger, a work vehicle.
Right.
Okay. Who's the charger registered to?
It's registered to the Marshal Service.
Marshals. Okay.
That's my personal vehicle.
So why would the marshals outfit your personal vehicle with lights and sirens?
In Texas, it's not like here.
Okay.
You don't have cars like this.
You have a Florida tag.
I know.
Hey, how long you worked for the U.S. Marshals?
About 3 years.
3 years?
To put the final nail in the coffin, the officers called a real marshal to the scene to interrogate Lambert, and it was here that his story really started to crumble.
Who's that? Who called you?
My squad in Texas. If you look through my phone, you'll see the 941 area code.
By squad, what do you mean by squad?
They sent 3 or 4 of us down here,
Who is they?
the Rangers.
The Rangers? Which Rangers? Like the baseball team?
No, hell no.
Okay, so what Rangers?
The Marshals.
The Marshals?
Yeah,
So what, where do you work out of Texas?
Dallas.
Dallas?
Yes.
What's your district?
District. What do you mean?
Well,
We just
if
have
you're
headquarters in the county.
if you're a U.S. Marshal,
It's
you
called
would know your district.
641.
641. Okay.
That's our squad.
Okay.
But there's only a few of us here.
A few of you. Would I be one of those?
No.
Lambert even has the balls to call out the real Marshal.
No.
I'm not a U.S. Marshal. Well, here's my credentials. I am actually a Special Deputy U.S. Marshal.
Yeah.
Here are my credentials.
Yeah. Mine are in my car.
These, your credentials like this are in there.
I have one just identically to that.
Okay. I would say probably not. Because I'm asking you very easy questions to be able to identify yourself, and you're not. Who's your supervisor out of Texas?
My supervisor?
Yes, sir. Your direct supervisor.
Jim Willis.
Notice how Lambert completely shuts down when asked who his supervisor is. He has to think about it for a few seconds before mentioning the name. The real Marshal knows he's onto him now, so he continues pressuring him.
What do you do for the United States Marshals?
Well, I normally just do raids.
Raids?
Yeah.
Okay, who do you work for?
I just told you twice.
Like, okay, so do you work for the Fugitive Task Force? Do you work for the District Marshals?
No,
Who do you work for?
I work for the task force.
You work for the task force?
Like people running, we do raids.
After yapping for what feels like an eternity, Lambert has successfully shot himself in the foot. At this point, everyone pretty much knows he isn't a Marshal, and it is here that Lambert gets completely checked by the real Marshal.
Okay, listen to me for just a second. I'm going to give you a little bit of an out or whatever.
Right.
I know you're not a U.S. Marshal. I'm a U.S. Marshal.
Right.
I know for a fact, 100%, you are not with the U.S. Marshals. Okay? So I would just want to know why you would try to identify as a U.S. Marshal. Was it to, like, get around traffic?
No.
Okay, so what were you trying to do?
I told you twice I was responding to a call.
With the U.S. Marshals?
Yes.
Okay.
You don't know about the drones out there flying over?
Sir, there is
Yeah,
nothing
no.
like that. I'm gonna give you a little tip, pro tip. Okay? There's only 3 of us in this county. You are not one of the other 2.
In the end, Derry Lambert was charged with false impersonation of a law enforcement officer, unlawful use of blue lights, unlawful use of a badge, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. At the county jail, a correctional officer found diazepam pills in his wallet. This could be an explanation for his weird behavior. Next, we go to the even crazier case of John Joseph O'Grady, who pretended to be a US Marshal to steal an iPhone.
So we thought, are you a police officer?
I'm not. No.
Okay. All right. What are you?
A federal marshal.
On the 21st of March 2018, officers responded to a call from a Best Buy about a man in a suit with federal marshal badges who had stolen an iPhone a day earlier. Stupidly enough, the man decided to go back into the very same store he had stolen the phone from to buy a case. A decision that would ultimately end up with him in handcuffs.
How you doing? They're going to trespass you from the store.
Why?
Because they seen you a previous case, steal an iPhone 10.
10?
Yes, iPhone. So they don't want you in the store. So we're going to go up to the front real quick. They're going to talk to you.
That's what I have.
Okay. You have an ID on you?
Not on me, no.
Why don't you have an ID on you? You're an adult.
I have it on this.
Are you a law enforcement officer?
How'd you get here?
My car. I lost it.
Do you have any weapons on you, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Where's it at?
On my hip.
Okay. So we thought, are you a police officer?
I'm not. No.
Okay. All right. What are you?
A federal marshal.
Okay. All right. That's what we got to ask.
ID.
No.
Okay. Just, we don't want you reaching for anything.
I'm not reaching for anything.
If you're a federal marshal, you understand what we're doing, right?
Absolutely. Just.
The officers know that they are onto him, so they keep asking him more and more specific questions.
Do you have your federal marshal ID?
No.
So you're carrying a weapon with no ID on you.
No. Because I just stepped out of my house to get this character.
Do you have a
like
number we can call for your supervisor?
that. No.
Okay. I gotta
So we-
take this for you just for
All
our
right, we're-
safety.
Handcuff him.
For what?
Until we figure out what's going on. You have a weapon, you have no ID on you.
It's not a real weapon.
You're carrying a fake weapon.
And you're a federal marshal.
And he's got a little
Are
badge.
you not?
No.
Congratulations, you're just impersonating a police officer. That's a
I'm
federal
not.
offense. Oh yeah. Congratulations. That's a felony.
Not only is John carrying a federal marshal badge and a fake gun, but he has also just admitted that he isn't really a marshal. Falsely impersonating a law enforcement officer is a felony and can land you in a lot of years in prison. At this point, John knows he's in deep trouble.
What's the story? Why are you carrying around a fake gun?
I'm a limousine driver, and
I thought you were a federal marshal.
Hey, here, you got a badge that says U.S. Marshals. You're claiming to be U.S. Marshals. You have a badge. What does that say on it?
Marshal.
So why are we carrying around fake stuff? You know it's illegal.
no, I didn't know it was illegal to carry out a fake.
Yes, you are displaying yourself as a law enforcement officer. We just asked you, are you in law enforcement? You said, yes, I'm a U.S. Marshal. That's illegal. That's a felony.
Guys,
Oh, absolutely not. We don't play around with this.
I'm not. I drive a limousine.
well-
I deal with all sorts of clowns on the.
But you're displaying yourself as a marshal. You're identifying yourself as a marshal. You're wearing a badge that's fake, that you know is not real, and you're carrying around a fake gun. What do you think people are supposed to think of you? They're going to think you're a law enforcement officer.
Even after being badly exposed, John tries to come up with excuses. However, they unfortunately for him fall on deaf ears.
It's a BB.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's a BB gun.
I didn't know that.
It's not the fact that you're carrying a BB gun, it's what you said. And the fact that you're carrying this, you're carrying that badge. Do you think people are going to stop and ask you if this is a BB gun?
No, I don't stop.
No, what I'm saying is, do you think anybody's going to stop and ask you if this is a BB gun? Looks like a real gun, doesn't it?
Well, all of them do.
Looks like my gun.
It's all BB guns.
Yeah,
are the
but
same.
let's say you decide that you're going to show someone this gun.
I would never do that.
Doesn't matter. You're missing the point.
No, I get your point.
Alpha 3.
You end up getting hurt or getting somebody else hurt because you're claiming
Sure,
that
can we
you're a
call
law
the
enforcement
complainant and
officer.
let the voicemail?
Could you loosen
The
these a
number
little
that you
bit?
provided doesn't seem like.
What's going to happen to me?
Well, right now, sometimes we say the wrong things at the wrong time. And
No,
that's
I know.
What, that's what we're finding ourselves right now.
I'm finding out.
You know?
Finding out that I really made an ass of myself. I don't want to go to jail for being an asshole.
John may look remorseful, however, he is only sad because he got caught. Notice how he continues to straight up lie to the officers when he is asked about the stolen iPhone.
If the video shows you stealing an iPhone, what does that mean?
I didn't steal an iPhone. I was looking at iPhones, but I didn't steal anything.
They got you stealing an iPhone. They got you on video. What do you think we're here for? We just didn't show up for.
We didn't pick you out of a hat.
Yeah.
The so-called marshal did in fact steal an iPhone. He just didn't know that they caught him red-handed on CCTV cameras. Notice how he just snatches the phone right from the public display and then discreetly hides it in a pocket in his suit. He then leaves the store without paying for anything. According to an employee, John had been seen in the store pretending to be a marshal numerous times. She also stated that he had shown his gun to her before.
All right, do me a favor. Can you raise your right hand?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Do you swear the statement you're going to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I'm here talking to you about an older gentleman that came into your store the other day. Do you remember him?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Can you describe him for me?
He pretty tall, over 6 foot. He kind of reminds me of a skinny version of Santa Claus. He had glasses. He had a black suit. I remember he had a pin, and I remember he showed me his gun.
Do you remember what the pin said?
I just remember I had like a little star, I believe. I didn't read it. I just saw it was a circle pin.
Okay. Did you see any other badges?
Not that I noticed.
Okay. And he showed you a gun?
Yeah.
Did he identify himself?
No.
John was arrested shortly afterwards and was charged with 1 count of impersonation of an officer or employee of the United States. On trial, he was sentenced to 4 months incarceration, followed by 1 year of supervised release and a $100 special assessment.